Hey guys, Lawrence here, and originally I wasn't going to film this bike, the Canyon Roadlite, because it's quite a boring bike and it's not one that I bought for enjoyment, it's just my commuter bike. But then today I got an email from Canyon saying that they're doing 15% off of this one, and a lot of people have been asking me about it, so I figured, hey, let's do a quick video about it. No fancy b-roll, not any script or anything, just me and my opinions on this bike after about 1,000 kilometers of commuting. Now, this is the Roadlite. Actually, it says road on this side and it says light on the other side. It's not very light. This is the base model, which is right now 650 euros, and it weighs about 10.5 kilograms in this size large that I have. So it's not really light, but it is a road bike. But it's a road bike with flat handlebars, as you can see, and Canyon calls this a fitness bike. Now, they also have an electric version of the Roadlite. So an electric fitness bike, in my opinion, it's a bit like going to McDonald's and getting a Diet Coke. It just doesn't make any sense. And there are a few things about this bike that don't really make any sense. For example, this is the full aluminium frame with an aluminium fork as well. This is actually based on the Endurace road bike frame, and the idea is, being a fitness bike, that you get this one for riding your workout. It actually says that right there on the down tube, ride your workout. Now the thing is, the frame is very flexible, so if you're gonna ride like a high intensity interval, training session, a HIIT session, the bike isn't really stiff enough in the rear when you're pushing out massive watts. I mean, just look at how thin all this aluminium is over here. And so you will get some front derailleur rub when sprinting. And it's also, due to the aluminium fork, not really comfortable enough to use for longer rides. And so, as a fitness bike, it doesn't really make any sort of sense whatsoever to me. But at this price point, it is a brilliant commuter bike. I'm just going to work my way from the front to the rear. And first up, of course, is the cockpit area. So this is just an aluminium stem, aluminium handlebars, and the bars are pretty narrow. That is a bit of a downside to this bike, especially with the grips. So this is a size XL hand. I mean, I buy XL gloves, but as you can see with my hand all the way up to the bar end here, there really isn't a lot of room for my thumb to go if I need to, shift, for example. So that is a bit annoying. I would actually prefer if these were not here. Now, these are bar ends, as you can see. They are the world's tiniest bar ends. They don't really offer any comfort. The flap does help with comfort, but the bar end is really only useful for putting a shopping bag over, for example. It's definitely not an extra grip. But it is just Shimano standard braking. And this version that I have here, the base model, comes with Sora. So that's Shimano's entry-level road bike group set. As you can see, it comes with a 2x in the front, and then we have a whopping 9 speeds plus a door disc in the rear. Now, you may say, oh, it's only 18 speed. Where's my 12 speed? I actually prefer the fact that it's a 9-speed chain, because they don't really require any maintenance. And in fact, I've only washed this bike 2 times since April, so that's 1,000 kilometers, 2 times that I washed it. Still works perfectly fine. No noise coming from the chain. It's actually a very reliable bike. So I started at the front, let's move down. So this is a bladed fork, and it is pretty wide, as you can see from this sort of viewpoint. It's not the thickest fork, but that shape that it has does mean that it's very stiff, just moving front to back. And you will feel sort of like a jarring, harsh feel when you're on rougher roads. But I guess that's okay at this price point. Now, wheels and tires, those are lower. So these are Alex Rims 19s, and then we have Schwalbe G1 Speed RGs on there. For those wondering if you can go tubeless on these, you cannot. I've tried. I've basically wasted an entire afternoon trying to make these G1s go tubeless. It wouldn't work. So just don't waste your time. If you want to go tubeless, get different tires. That's the short version. For those wondering about the brakes, these are just the entry-level sort of Shimano brake calipers on the entry-level rotors as well, 160mm rotors front and back, of course. Cranks, those are also Shimano Sora, and unlike most other Canyon bikes, it actually comes with pedals. Pedals with reflectors in it, so that's pretty handy if you are going to use it as a commuter bike. Now that we're on this side, I do want to show something. So the derailleur cable is internal into this quite big down tube, but our brake hose is external, and usually that's fine with me. My camera won't really focus, but the annoying thing here is that it kind of sticks out a little bit. I've already accidentally ripped off the little zip tie that holds this one in place over here. And it's just, you sometimes hit it or you get your pants caught on it. Not ideal. I would prefer if it was also internal. I guess they can't do it with this shape here, but maybe they should figure a way to do it. So let's move on further to the rear of the bike and the top. So it's all Canyon's Iridium finishing kit. So the seat post, the saddle, it's not the best saddle in the world. It's very slippery, so you will slide around on it a fair bit. In some cases that's actually a good thing, but I don't really like it all that much, this saddle. And then to the back, same rim, same tire. You get that Sora derailleur on there. A very dirty cassette, but it's fine, as I said. Doesn't really require any maintenance whatsoever. And so from that sort of point of view, it's really great. Now, I said this is my commuter bike, and I've commuted mostly in spring and summer, but winter is coming, so putting some fenders, mudguards on will be important. So it's great that there is a boss here on the front, and there are also bosses inside the fork, on the back as well. Bosses over here, one right there, and also near the dropouts. So you can easily mount a decent sort of fender on this bike, which if you are going to use it as a commuter bike, is going to be really handy for you when it gets all rainy and snowy and wet and all that. So that is basically the Canyon Roadlite. In my opinion, as a fitness bike, whatever a fitness bike is supposed to be, this isn't really it. But if you just want a road bike with flat handlebars, it's awesome. If you need a commuting bike, it's awesome. If you just need a cheap bike that's still very fast rolling, this is a great bike. If you just want something to go to the shops with a hook for your shopping bag, this thing is pretty awesome. It's basically the perfect bike for everything except putting out a lot of power. I mean, these tires are 30mm wide, so you can even go on a gravel ride with this if you really want to. And I guess in a setup like this, it is like a 1990s mountain bike, just with skinnier, faster rolling tires. That, by the way, I did not puncture once in about 1,000 kilometers of commuting, even off-road commuting. And so with that all said, I'm definitely going to give it a bit of a thumbs up, this bike. Not just because it is so cheap or affordable or budget friendly, but just because it's a very nice all-round bike. I just wouldn't really use it as the type of bike that I ride when I actually want to have fun on a bike and when I actually want to do some exercise. So anyway, if you like this video, even though this is not up to my usual standards, just hit the like button and the subscribe button for more high quality content in the future. Thank you very much for watching.